Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Friday, June 26th. This stimulus update is for those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus payment of $1,200, and in addition, for those of you that are wondering about the second stimulus proposals and packages that are out there. I will also answer questions for those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Retirement and Survivors, VA benefits, and Railroad Retirement Benefits recipients, and for those that still haven't received their first stimulus payment. I will also go over three main questions regarding the second stimulus, and those questions are: will I get a second stimulus check? When will the second stimulus check be coming? And how much will the second stimulus check be? So stick around for the entire video if you're interested in the second stimulus check. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Justin, and I do stimulus check updates and financial advice. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And be sure to like this video so that YouTube will share it with others. So I continue to get questions about the first stimulus check. I'm going to go over three questions regarding the non-filers tool. Who should not use the non-filers tool? Who must use the non-filers tool? And who have the option of using the non-filers tool but don't have to? So first off, who should not use the non-filers tool? First, if you have already received your stimulus payment of $1,200 from the CARES Act, you do not need to use the non-filers tool because you've already received your payment. If you are claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes, you should not use the non-filers tool because you're not eligible for the stimulus payment of $1,200. If you filed taxes or are required to file taxes, you should not use the non-filers tool. If you'll be under the age of 17 by the end of 2020, you should not use the non-filers tool as you are not eligible for a stimulus payment of $1,200. So that is who should not use the non-filers tool. Who must use the non-filers tool? If you are not required to file taxes and you did not file taxes, and you do not receive government benefits such as SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Retirement, Survivors, or VA benefits, or Railroad Retirement Benefits, if you do not receive any of those and you are not required to file taxes, you must use the non-filers tool. In addition, if you started receiving your federal government benefits of SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Retirement, Survivors, or VA benefits or Railroad Retirement Benefits after the start of 2020, so that's January 1st, 2020, or later, you first started receiving your benefits, then you must use the non-filers tool if you do not also file taxes. The IRS does not have your information if you started receiving those benefits after the start of January 1st, 2020. So who may use the non-filers tool but is not required to? If you are not required to file taxes and you receive SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Retirement, Survivors, VA benefits, or Railroad Retirement Benefits, you do not need to use the non-filers tool. However, I have had a lot of people that have used the non-filers tool and had not received a payment and received a payment within about 3 weeks of using it. The non-filers tool specifically says that if you receive one of those benefits that you should not use it. However, I've received comments from people that actually spoke to the IRS representatives on the phone, and the IRS rep actually suggested that they use the non-filers tool. And I have been suggesting that people use the non-filers tool if they are not required to file taxes and are eligible for a stimulus payment, and also if they didn't file taxes. So, if you're on one of those government benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Retirement, Survivors, VA benefits, or Railroad Retirement Benefits, and you did not file taxes and are not required to file taxes, and you still haven't received your stimulus payment or a stimulus payment date in the Get My Payment tool, then I would suggest that you do use the non-filers tool, even though the non-filers tool says that you shouldn't do it. The IRS has said over the phone to multiple people that I've read in my comment section that they should use the non-filers tool if they still don't have a payment date. But once again, that is up to you. You don't have to use it if you receive one of those government benefits. The IRS should eventually find you, but I would suggest that you do use it if you still don't have a payment date. So for those of you that still haven't received your stimulus payment, continue checking the Get My Payment tool. That tool is the one that the IRS is going to give you the most up-to-date information regarding your payment. In addition, you can continue to call the IRS at their stimulus hotline of 1-800-919-9835. It is a pain to get through, and there are very few representatives that can actually help. But if you have a question that can't be answered otherwise, then you probably need to call the IRS and get it resolved. So that's the update for the first stimulus payment. For those of you that are interested in the second stimulus checks and proposals in the second stimulus check, that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So I'm going to answer 3 questions, the most commonly asked questions I get in my comment section regarding the second stimulus check. And those 3 questions are, will I get a second stimulus check, or will I be eligible for a second stimulus check? The second question is, when will the second stimulus check be coming? And the third question is, how much will the second stimulus check be? So let's first answer the question of, when will I get a second stimulus check? Let me be very clear once again. The second stimulus check at this point is only a proposal or proposals that have been made to give second stimulus checks to individuals. There is nothing that has passed both the House, the Senate, and been signed into law by President Trump. So let's talk about the timeline of when a second stimulus check could be coming. The HEROES Act is the furthest along of any of the stimulus proposals that included a second stimulus check for individuals. The HEROES Act passed the House of Representatives a few weeks ago, back in May, and it then kind of stalled in the Senate, and the Senate said, as it stands, it's not going to be passed. But the Senate has said that they are going to probably deliberate on the next round of stimulus in July. Well, the Senate goes on recess from July 3rd until July 17th, which is a Friday. July 20th would then be the next day they're back in session. So after that break, they're going to be back in session July 20th, and that's when they probably will start deliberating the next stimulus check. Mitch McConnell has said that they're not going to start deliberating on the next stimulus proposal until July, so it's going to be after that July 20th date when they're back in session. So the timeline for the next stimulus check, the second stimulus check, is sometime in late July. The Senate will deliberate and then decide if they actually want to pass something. And once they pass something, then it will need to go back to the House of Representatives for another vote. The House of Representatives has been willing to pass stimulus proposals and stimulus payments to individuals. So most likely, whatever the Senate agrees to, the House would probably agree to fairly quickly, as long as it includes the provisions of a stimulus check for individuals. Once those two have agreed on it, then the president would need to sign it himself. I think based on what he's been saying recently, he's on board with another stimulus check to individuals, and so I think he would sign that fairly quickly. So it's basically the Senate that we're waiting on right now, and the timeline for them is late in July, sometime after July 20th when they're back in session. My guess is probably that week of July 20th through the 24th being a Friday, where they would probably deliberate, pass it in the Senate, be ready to send back to the House of Representatives by the 24th, or at the latest, probably the end of July, the very last day of July the 31st, which is also a Friday. Once they do that, then the House of Representatives would have to vote on it as well. So my guess is sometime in those last 2 weeks of July, there will be a stimulus check that passes in the Senate, and then within probably a week of that, the House will pass it as well. So that's the timeline of a second stimulus check. The other question I get asked a lot is, will I be eligible for a second stimulus check? And once again, these are just proposals, so I can only go off of what proposals are out there. So basically, the HEROES Act is the furthest along. It has passed the House and sent to the Senate. It included $1,200 payments to all individuals that received the first stimulus payment of $1,200, but in addition, also included provisions for those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes. That's a big change from what the first $1,200 stimulus payment did. For those of you that received the first stimulus payment, most likely you would receive the second stimulus payment. If you did not receive the first stimulus payment of $1,200 because you were claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes, and you were over the age of 17 and basically were left out completely, that includes college students or adult dependents that are claimed on someone else's taxes, Under the HEROES Act, you would receive a stimulus payment of $1,200. And I think a lot of the packages and proposals that have come out for a second stimulus check to individuals have included those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes. They realized that they kind of made a mistake with the first stimulus payment in excluding those that were claimed on someone else's taxes. So a lot of the packages and proposals have included those that were claimed as dependents. So quickly, the second stimulus proposals, most of them include the exact same number of people that the first stimulus payment of $1,200 included. So if you got the first $1,200, you would be included with the second $1,200. And if you were claimed as a dependent, there's a chance that they will pass something that includes dependents, no matter what age they are, to receive $1,200 or a stimulus payment of some kind. So the last question I get asked a lot with regard to the second stimulus check is, how much will the second stimulus check be? Let me go over what I think. There have been a lot of packages and proposals that have included stimulus payments of up to $2,000 every single month for up to 12 months. Most of the stimulus payments that have been proposed have been more like $1,200 and a one-time payment. And that's what I think the most likely scenario is. I don't think that the Senate is going to get on board with a monthly payment of $1,200 or a monthly payment of $2,000 that's recurring every single month. I think the Senate is probably only going to give about the same amount that they originally gave, and that's $1,200. So most likely the next stimulus payment will probably be somewhere around $1,200 again. Once again, all of these are just proposals at this point. It's really the Senate that everyone is waiting on. The Senate is kind of like holding all the cards right now, just kind of saying, okay, we're going to wait and see what happens with this economy, wait and see with the recovery, wait and see with the coronavirus, and see what happens with cases. And if there's more spikes, which there kind of have been recently, then the Senate will probably be more likely to pass a $1,200 stimulus check. Those are the answers to the questions of who's going to receive the next stimulus check, when is it going to be coming, and how much will it be. If you're still waiting for your first stimulus check, I'm so sorry. The IRS is taking forever. They really are still sending out payments each week, and they are sending out checks and supposedly EIP debit cards, although I haven't really heard many people actually receive the EIP debit cards. But payments are still going out for the first stimulus payment. For those of you wondering about the second stimulus payment, you're going to have to continue to wait, because we're not going to have any real solid news other than just the good news that comes out from people suggesting that we get more stimulus. But the final proposals and actual deliberation and signing of the bills probably won't happen until July in the Senate. So that's my update for today. Thank you once again so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And be sure to like this video so that YouTube shares it with others. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.